what Murali has in his hands is he'll be having application and data. Guys, application nothing but it's contain data also inside it. So the code, everything is a data, right? So he has application and data in his hands, and that application can be developed in any other language. Yes or no? That application can be developed in Java, it can be in .NET, it can be Python, any kind of language you can develop. So what does the Murali has? Murali has just a zip file with him with the code. Yes or no? The customer has what? He has a zip file. The customer has just a zip file. Now, I'm asking you the question. Customer has the zip file, and assume that you are the customer and you have the application with you. What are the services in AWS where you can deploy this application? Number one is EC2, and what is number two? Beanstalk. So what are the two services that we go and do it? Hey, come on. Is it possible to deploy in S3? So S3 is only for static, not storing the files, but it's for static websites. So here, there are two ways. Number one is EC2, and another service is Beanstalk. EC2 and Beanstalk. Okay. So we have seen end-to-end on the EC2, how do we deploy and everything. Let us talk on the Beanstalk. As I said, Beanstalk is, what we need to do is we need to do the configurations. What we need to do? Configurations. So Beanstalk is all about the configurations. So this is Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, in Beanstalk, what do you give? You give only what, guys? Configurations. What kind of configurations that you give? Basically, if you want to launch an EC2 instance, what are the configurations that you give? What are the configurations that you give, guys? If you want to launch an EC2 instance, what are the things that you provide? The 7 steps. What are the 7 steps? Tags, somewhere it is optional. Why are you saying tags? First thing you give image, instance type, volumes related, security groups. Yes. So availability zones, subnets, all these things will give. Yes or no? So these are all the so this Beanstalk will be launching the EC2 instances behalf of us. Yes or no? So we need to tell to the Beanstalk no, for the EC2 instance, what kind of configurations that EC2 instance should have. Correct? For that, you need to just give the configuration. What are the configurations? Which VPC? We select the VPC, no? Next, AMI details. Next, instance type. Guys, how we are launching the EC2 instance? What are the options that we get to launch an EC2 instance? Tell me those. Instance type, volume details, key pair, security groups, availability zones. If at all you want auto scaling group. If you want ELB. So basically, all this information you will give it to the Beanstalk. So what does the Beanstalk will do? Beanstalk will take these configurations and it will launch the EC2 instance. Beanstalk will take this configuration and it will launch the EC2 instance. And you are providing the zip file, no? You are uploading the zip file to the Beanstalk. So Beanstalk will go and launch the EC2 instance based on the configuration that you have given. After that, the zip file that you have provided automatically will get deployed into the EC2 instance by Beanstalk only. Are we doing anything here? So you are responsible only for the application. You just provide the application to Beanstalk and give the configuration, how your EC2 instance should look like, and then boom. Okay. So now, there is a question. Where zip file will store when deploying the application? In the local machine. In the EC2 instance, the zip file will be stored. Okay. So now, in the Beanstalk, it should contain the platform, right? Beanstalk provides the platforms. What are the platform that it provides? It provides Tomcat, Node.js, Python, .NET, Docker, Go. So there are so many things like Elastic Beanstalks provide. Okay. So now, can we store zip file on S3? You can store, but how do you get it in the Beanstalk? Anil Kumar, right? Correct. Nandakishore. That is what we learned on the Beanstalk. So what is the backbone of Beanstalk? I said EC2. So you give the configuration to the Beanstalk, and the Beanstalk will launch an EC2 in the backend. Can we see that EC2 instance? Yes. If you go to EC2 service, you can see the EC2 instance. Okay. Okay. So let's say, for example, the zip file, the developer has Java application. What application? Tell me which platform that you need to select. Which platform you need to select for Java applications? You can go for the Tomcat. So let's say you have application of Python. Which platform you need to select? You have related to DevOps, Dockers, containers and all. Which platform you need to select? Docker container. So based on the developer, based on the zip file, based on the application language that you have developed, you need to select the platform. Okay, Nana? Getting it? Is this clear till here, everyone? Okay. So now, Elastic Beanstalk have something called deployment modes. What is that? Deployment modes. Okay, you have given the configuration, that is good. Where does it go and deploy? On the EC2 instances, correct? But we have different deployment modes, or you can call it as preset. What is that called? What is that called, Nana? Preset. So there are different types of presets here. Number one, we call it as single EC2 instance preset. Guys, if you select the single EC2 instance preset, what will happen? How many EC2 instances that Beanstalk will launch? Only one. It will launch only one EC2 instance. It will launch only one EC2 instance. Automatically, Beanstalk, what does it do? It will deploy your zip file and your application will be ready here. So how many EC2 instances that you have here? Only one. But is it good for your production environment with one single EC2 instance? So is it okay for your dev or test? For dev and test, is it okay? For dev and test, it is okay. But production? No. If you want to just go and launch simple with one single EC2 instance with the application, we go with the which preset? Single EC2 instance preset. Which preset? Single EC2 instance preset. So now there is another preset which is called as high availability preset. What preset is this? High availability. So it is up to you. So if you want single EC2 instance, go for the single EC2 instance preset. And if you want high availability meaning it will create automatically load balancer. It will set up automatically your EC2 instance with the application. If required, on top of it, it will have auto scaling group also. Guys, high availability is nothing but what? Everything, no? With load balancer, you have EC2 instances, auto scaling group, everything. You just need to give the configuration. Everything will be automatically created by Beanstalk. So you have application inside it. Application. And on top of it, you have auto scaling group. So if you want to have this kind of infrastructure, then which preset that you should select? High availability preset. Which preset? So now we have discussed how many presets? 2. What are those? Single EC2 preset and Which one would you vote for production environment? Understood? So this is good for prod. So there is another preset available which is called custom preset. What is it? Chitty? Custom preset. Custom preset meaning it is your own VPC, own security group, own key pair, your everything your own. So basically, if you go for single EC2 instance or high availability, it will create its own security group. It will set up everything for you. But if you say that no, Babu, please use my VPC, my security group, my key pair, everything yours, then that will go for which one? That will go for custom preset. So in real time, which one will you go? Custom preset or you can go for the high availability with the custom preset. So now, remember in EC2, we discussed about pricing models. What is the pricing models? Can you tell me those? On demand. On demand. Next, go one by one. After on demand, we have, okay, spot. Next, reserve instances. What is that? Reserve instances. So on demand, reserve instances, spot, dedicated instances, dedicated host, savings plan, capacity reservation. You should tell like this. Bah, okay, I understand your feelings. So, okay. So now, so here, Beanstack, guys, Beanstack, you can launch EC2 instance, on demand EC2 instance, you can launch or you can go for the spot. But when you go for the spot, if we have start time and end time, then go for the spot. So if you want to have application to be working 24/7, will you go for spot? Right? So, but this Beanstack will provide on demand and then spot. So either you can go for on demand or you can go for the spot. Single EC2 instance on demand or single EC instance spot. High availability with on demand or high availability with spot. It's up to you. Okay. Is it clear till here, everyone? Any questions till here? So now we have seen what is Elastic Beanstalk. Now, how do we set up Elastic Beanstalk and what is the architecture? We'll see now. So now let's talk about Elastic Beanstalk architecture. Let's see Elastic Beanstalk architecture. Very important. So tell me, when you go to EC2 service, what you launch? EC2 instance you launch. When you go to S3, what do you create? Bucket you create. When you go to RDS, what you create? Database you create. Similarly, when you go to Beanstalk, the first thing that you should be creating is application. What is that you should create? Application. So here, the first and foremost, the thing that you should create is here, application. So the template, this is called here application. Inside the application is just like a holder. Application is just like a holder. So inside the application, you need to create environment. What you need to create? So if you want environment, R should be silent. Okay. So here you can create environment. So here, can I create environment here? R should not be rolling. So this is called what? Environment. So first, what do we create? Application you create. What do you create? Application. Inside the application, what do we have? Environment you have. So first you have application. Inside that you have environment. Inside the environment, you have EC2 instance. What do you have? EC2 instance. What does the EC2 instance will have? Your website, your application, correct? Your actual application will be inside the EC2 instance, the zip file. You got this? So what is the main thing? First, the border, the holder is application. So application, we don't think that this is your real application. No, it's just a name. So inside that, you create a environment. Inside the environment, you have the EC2. Inside the EC2 instance, you have your actual application. So now, guys, why I have only one single EC2 instance? Because what is the preset I have selected here? Single EC2. But if you select high availability, what does the environment will contain? Load balancer, everything will contain. As I don't have space, that's why I put only single EC2 instance. Okay. So now, how do you access your application? Guys, whenever you create any environment, it will automatically generate an environment URL. What is that? Environment here. So how do you access your application using environment URL? One application can have multiple environments? Answer is yes. Can I have multiple environments like this? Yes. Okay, let's say for example, I have given my application is related to HR. So can I have one environment with salary module? Okay. And another environment with admin module? Can I have like this, separate? I'm just giving an example. So one application can have single environment also. One whole application can have multiple environments also. Each environment have its own, your own website. And how do you access your application? Using what URL? Environment URL, you should say. What environment? What is that? Environment URL. So that environment URL is a nasty URL again. Is it good? It's a nasty URL. So how do you do the makeup? Route 53, you need to do the makeup. You're getting it? Nice. So can I say this? This is single instance deployment preset. In this single instance deployment preset, one environment we can have how many EC2 instances? Only one. One environment is equal to one EC2. Okay. Next. So we just saw single instance deployment. Okay. So now let me show you one more thing, which is what preset is this? High availability preset. What preset? High availability preset. So this one is HA deployment preset. So in HA deployment preset, what is the first thing that we create? Application. So what is the top one? What is the border? We call it as application. Inside this, what we have? Inside this, we have environment. Okay, so this is the environment. So inside the environment, if you have a HA deployment, that means you will have what? You'll have a load balancer and you have the EC2 instances. If required, can you have auto scaling also? Yes. What kind of load balancer that you create? Application load balancer. Very good. So, etc. And then this. So inside this we have application you have. Now if required, can I have auto scaling group on top of it like this? Yes. How do you access your application? Using environment URL. So can I have multiple environments like this? Okay. So this is what preset? High availability preset. What preset, Anna? High availability preset. Understood? Like this, can you create multiple applications? And one application can have multiple environments. One application can have multiple environments. And each environment can have your own website? Yes or no? Yes. Is it clear till here, everyone? Okay. CC, 990, is it clear for you online? Of course, yes. Without EC2 instances, you cannot have anything. Srino. Guys, I didn't mention EC2. That doesn't mean that is not EC2. That boxes. I put application inside it. No, so that are EC2 only. I don't have space. That's why I didn't wrote. Aye. All the EC2 instances should be in the same availability zone or different? Huh? Same or different? Same or different? Tell me one. Same, different. Why did you say said the same? Huh? Basic, no? Basic ఉండదు. ఎందుకు వస్తారు తెలీదు. చెప్పే మూడు సర్వన. Okay, so guys, don't know Telugu, just ignore it. So it's a small joke. But yeah, see, the basic thing here, Chiti, is it recommended? I want you to go and launch 10 EC2 instances. So will you go and launch all 10 EC2 instances in one day availability zone? That is a starting days we have learned, right? So how do you do that? You spread the EC2 instance across multiple availability zone. And for the load balance, what is the definition of load balancer? Tell me. Distributing the traffic across multiple instances across different availability zones. Why did I say different there? Because your EC2 instance, you should keep it in different availabilities. Because if you keep all your EC2 instances in one availability zone, what happens if that availability zone goes down? Your entire application is gone. So due to for high availability, we need to keep it in different availability zones. Okay. Sir, in HA preset, a single environment can contain more than one EC, more than, no Utkarsh, I said in HA preset, a single, in HA preset, single environment can have more than one. Of course, yes. Guys, in HA preset, one environment can have multiple EC2 instances? Obviously, yes, because it has a load balancer, right? And also this question from Rajesh, sir, why not ELB instead of ALB? Why not ELB instead of ALB? Do you understand the question? Okay, first question is there any difference between ELB and ALB? So ELB is the normal load balancer, elastic load balancer. Inside the elastic load balancer, we have different types. And which is the type that we should be using? ALB. ALB, ELB, both are same. Okay, both are same. Okay, good. Okay. So now, guys, let me tell you one real time thing here. Okay, from here anyone can do. From here it is important. See, now I have my application inside the EC2 instances. Yes or no? Let's say version 1 application. Which one? So these developers will be developing version 2, no? Yes or no? Developers, what the developer will do? will keep on updating the code. Right? You have version 1 application, and after maybe 1 month, 2 months, they will develop the new code and they call it as version 2. Now, sir, we use the environment URL to access the real-time application. Yes. Guys, there is a question. Sir, we use the environment URL to access the real-time application. What do you say? Answer is yes. Okay, now you have the latest version, Nana. Now we have the latest version. For your in the environment, which version you have? In the environment, which version you have? Version 1 or version 2? Version 1. So now you need to update to version 2. How? This is called deployments. What do we call deployment? This is generally you do this deployment in DevOps. There you will be learning all this. Have you heard about this deployments in DevOps? Right? Deploying the applications, right? How do you deploy it? See here, but so it has a version 1 application. Can you tell me, will you go ahead directly log into the EC2 instance and deploy one by one? Will you do that like this? Answer is no. Who is handling these EC2 instances? Beanstack. Who is handling this? Beanstack. So I told you. So Beanstack has full control. We also have the control. But will you go and deploy version 2 manually on all the EC2 instances? No. So whom should we need to give latest zip file to whom? To Beanstack we need to give. To whom? To Beanstack. You need to tell, hello Beanstack, hello. Yes. I have version 2 zip file. Oh, give me. Upload. And then, let's say, for example, you have 10 machines, 10 EC2 instances. At why 10? 4 EC2 instances. How many? 4 EC2. So on that 4 EC2 instances, your Beanstack will go and deploy the latest version. Your Beanstack will go and deploy the latest versions on all the 4 EC2 instances. How? Will it go one by one? Yes or no? Or will it go all at once? Or will you go 2 by 2? Because yes or no? Or let's say, for example, we have girls there. I want to give chocolates to them. I want to give. I'll bring sometime. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So I want to give chocolates to them. Let's say next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls are there. Okay. For you later. So let's assume you have 5 EC2 instances. Okay. 5 girls are there. For them, chocolates for you. Huh? Okay. Let's say now everyone has 5-star in their hands. What is that? 5-star. So all these 5 girls have the 5-star chocolates with them. Good. Now I want to give the dairy milk for them. Okay. How should I give? Should I give one by one to everyone? Or should I give all 5 like this in the air? Or every, so if I have 5 hands, I can give everyone at the same time. Or can I give 2 by 2? Or can I group them and give? So it is, how do you deploy? How do you give the chocolates? Similarly here also, right? Here also, how do we deploy the latest version to the EC2 instances? Also have some methods. Okay. Okay. Some people saying, how about online, sir? Virtual chocolates. Right. Okay. So for this, we have something called deployment options. Deployment options, or you can call it as methods, or you can call it as policies. So you can call it as deployment options or deployment methods or deployment policies. Anything you can call. So now question here is, how do I give latest version? How do I have version 2 in on my EC2 instances? For this, we have, let me show you, I have a graphical representation. Okay, so I don't have like that. Okay, that's fine. There is question, sir. I'm having a doubt. We are talking about deployment. Do we use Bitbucket and CI/CD pipeline and configure way to deploy or what? Yes. So this deployment, yo, when I'm talking about deployment, generally people think about DevOps because deployment concept will be used in the DevOps, not in AWS. Of course, in AWS also, because your applications are in AWS only, no? So what is the method? What is the way to deploy your applications that will be done using the DevOps? So for that, we are not using CI/CD here. What is CI/CD? Don't worry. Okay, let's do one thing here. Tomorrow we'll finish the practicals on this, and I'll take you one class, DevOps class, so that you'll understand all these things. Okay. But let's not compare here with the DevOps. So let's not talk. I don't go there because it's a very big topic. So unnecessarily we lose the command here. Okay. So we are not talking about the DevOps, but here we are just giving the latest zip file to the Beanstalk. Beanstalk will deploy. Do we deploy? Who will deploy? Beanstalk will deploy. Right? We are giving the complete full permission to Beanstalk. Beanstalk, this is the latest version. You do. And Beanstalk will say, how do I do? Beanstalk will say, how do I do? So for that, we have these options. All at once. What is the deployment policy you have? All at once. What is the meaning of all at once? All at once only. So you are deploying applications all at once in all EC2 instances at the same time. If you are deploying version 2 in all the EC2 instances at the same time, do we have a downtime or not? This is a certification question. Do we have a downtime? Yes or no? I have 4 EC2 instances. On all 4 EC2 instances, I'm deploying at the same time. Do we have a downtime? Answer is yes. Because if you're deploying in all EC2 instances at the same time, definitely you have a downtime. So all at once has a downtime. Does it add any extra cost? We are not launching any new EC2 instances, correct? It doesn't have any extra cost. And there is one more method, your favorite method. R should be rolling on Mata. Okay. So rolling policy. What is that? Rolling policy. Rolling policy also one by one. What is that? One by one. So first, Beanstalk will go and deploy version 2 in the first EC2 instance. And then once that is completed, and it will go to the second one. And that is completed when it go to the third one and then fourth one. Like this, one by one, it will go. Do we have a downtime here? No, because if one is happening, another one will take the request, right? So here, no downtime. Any extra cost here? We are not launching any new one. So no extra cost. Next one here, rolling with additional batches. Okay. Rolling with additional batches. Rolling with additional batches meaning batch by batch. You can set a size 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Let's say in your real time you have 20, 30 EC2 instances. Will you go one by one, one by one? No. What you do is you group it. Group for 5 EC2 instances. So all 5 EC2 instances will be happening one time. Next group. Next group. So next group. So rolling with additional batches. For this, what will happen is for this, first directly it will not go and update in the existing EC2 instances. Guys, directly it is not updating on the existing EC2 instances. What it does it is, it will first launch 2 EC2 instances by itself. What it does it do? It will launch 2 EC2 instances and it upload version 2 and see, did I deploy it correctly? Everything is working fine or not? It will check. Once that everything is working fine, then only it will go and disturb the existing EC2 instances. So here, rolling with additional batches meaning, do we have a downtime here first of all? No downtime. But do we have extra cost? Yes, because it is launching new EC2 instance. It will test it there first. Once the deployment got successful there, then it will go and touch the current ones. And you all understood this? So here, downtime, no downtime, and then extra cost. Okay. The next one here is immutable. What is that? What is that? Immutable. What is that? Immutable. Now, see here, everyone. So, immutable meaning, guys, online, listen this. Immutable meaning, you have load balancer with auto scaling group. Okay, listen this. You have load balancer with auto scaling group. In auto scaling group, just assume you have how many EC2 instances? 4. How many are there? 4 are there. Now, in that auto scaling group, in that 4 EC2 instance, you need to deploy version 2. So you have a concept called immutable. What is immutable? You know, when you select immutable, it will create a temporary auto scaling group. What it will create? It will create a temporary auto scaling group, and it will launch the EC2 instances there in temporary auto scaling group. Beanstalk will launch EC2 instance in the temporary auto scaling group, and it will update version 2 there. Once that EC2 instance, which is newly launched with version 2, once those are up and running and deployed successfully, you have actual auto scaling group is there now for EC2 instance. This temporary auto scaling group for EC2 instance will be moved to the actual auto scaling group. So from temporary, it will move to the actual auto scaling group, and the old EC2 instance in the current auto scaling group will be deleted, terminate. You got this? Did you visualize it? Or should I tell? See, Nana. Load balancer is there? Okay. How many EC2 instances are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are in auto scaling group? Yes or no? So now for Beanstalk, if you select immutable, what will happen is it will create what? Another temporary auto scaling group it will create. And then where does it launch? It will launch EC2 instances here. It will launch EC2 instances here. And it will make sure that everything is working here. Once everything is working, what will happen? It will be moved to this. Once it is moved, all these things will be terminated. This is automatically, guys, whatever the deployment options or deployment policies I'm telling you, no need to do anything. It's just a drop down. It is just a drop down. So you are uploading the zip file, no, latest zip file. Beanstalk will say, Babu, give me the latest version, zip file. Upload zip file, and it will give the option. Babu, you want all at once? Babu, you want rolling with additional batches? You want immutable? Select it. So I'm just going deeper and explaining you what each option is doing in the backend. Do we need to care about it? No. So you just need to select which option that you need. Automatically deployment will be done by the Beanstalk, not us. Now you all understood what is immutable? So in immutable, any downtime is there? No downtime. Extra cost? You have a extra cost. Guys, everyone understood immutable? I'm telling you once again. See here, Akhil and other who didn't understood. So you need to respond. Okay, see here. So you have load balancer with EC2 instances. Yes, same load balancer. If you replace with another load balancer, the DNS name will change. Okay. So guys, do you see this here, Akhil and everyone? So you have the load balancer with 4 EC2 instances in the auto scaling group. Yes or no? Okay. Now, if you go for immutable, does it touch this existing auto scaling group? Answer is yes or no? No. What do? You create a temporary auto scaling group. This is a temporary. I mean, automatically create. So Beanstalk will do, not we. Okay, so Beanstalk will create a temporary auto scaling group and it will launch the EC2 instance in temporary auto scaling group. Once version 2 is deployed perfectly inside this, and all this EC2 instance will be moved to the actual auto scaling group. Once it is moved, this existing will be terminated and this EC2 instance will be on the current one. This is immutable. Clear? Akhil? Nice. But, so guys, but should I tell you how I will be doing? I don't use all of this. I have my own way. Should I tell you that experienced way? Huh? Huh? Okay. So, not only me, experienced people generally take this option. Let's see. So, you have the application first of all. Everything should be inside the application only, no? So, you have the application. Okay. So, this is the app. So, this is the application. What does the application contain? Environment. Environment. This is the environment. The environment can be single EC2 instance preset or it can be high availability. I don't have space, no. So which preset should I go? Should I go with single? Can you have high availability also? Yes, but I'm going with the single. So this is environment. Okay. So consider I have this environment with the single EC2 instance having the application. Correct, Mega. Correct. So this is the EC2 instances. EC2 and it has application. So guys, and for this, we need to select a platform, no? Assume that it is on which platform? Assume that it is in Tomcat platform. Assume that it is in the Tom platform and it has the environment. How do I access it? Using environment URL. Okay. So guys, I have this. Okay. And which version is this? Version 1. Assume that we have a environment with the EC2 instance with the application running on which platform? Tomcat platform, and that to which version? Which version 1. So now all developers, they get in touch with each other with product owner, PO, we call it as PO. And then customer said that, Babu, please increase the design or change completely the platform. Change completely the platform. You redesign your entire application. So that meaning version 2 only, no? Next version, new version. So I want to deploy a new version now. I want to deploy a new version. That new version is not only on the application level. Customer say that I don't want in Tomcat, I want it in Python completely. Is a big update? Yes or no? It is definitely a big update. So from Tomcat, I want to move to the Python completely with the new design. And customer should never feel the pain. Within a blink of eye, if customer will say like this, and he should have an application. URL should not change. Boom.com should not change. And the existing one should completely change to the new version on Python. This is the requirement. This is a bloody real-time requirement. How do we do? Okay. So we already learned deployment options, no? What are the, so we already know the deployment options. What are the deployment options we see? Number 1, all at once. All at once. Next, rolling rolling with additional batches. Next, immutable. There is also something called traffic splitter recently got introduced. That means you're splitting the traffic. Okay. Let's not worry on that. Okay. Now, guys, if you're selecting these options, you are telling Babu Beanstalk, this is the latest version. And Beanstalk will ask, which option should I select? Should I select all at once? Should I select rolling with additional batches, immutable traffic? Which one I should select? Guys, if you say all at once, this will go and disturb the existing environment, no? Yes or no? This go and do the work here. Yes or no? All these options will be working on the actual environment. Yes or no, guys? All these options will be working on the actual environment. If something pusuk went wrong, okay, we have the customer here. You have the customer, and what is the application? Boom.com. So customer is accessing this URL, correct? Customer is accessing this URL, and if you are touching this environment, if something goes wrong, that URL will go down or not? It will go down. So what should I do is, guys, our experienced person's way is, I don't want to touch. Every experienced guy have this funda, this rule. I will not touch the existing environment. We always say this. I don't touch the existing environment. Without touching it, do anything you want. So now I don't want to touch this environment. Can I create another new environment? Yes. Who will stop? No one will stop. So I go and create a new environment. Aram se I'll create. Any downtime required? Should I need to inform customer? Should I any pain for others? Nothing. I'll go and create Aram se I'll create. Okay. There, which platform I'll create? Which platform I create? Python I create. I create in Python. I launch an EC2 instance. And inside this, I put the application. Any issue with the customer here? No. Any problem with my manager? No, nothing. And this version 1, version 2? Version 2. And which platform? Python. And this is the environment. So I have my new environment with the actual what the customer need. So now I need to tell. I'm not talking about mega. If you put one time also, I can see the question. Okay, no need to copy paste multiple times. Okay, see, mega is asking, Tomcat is a server, Python is a language. So Python, you can have Python platform also. Okay, you can have the Python. Python is a script, is a language. You can have the Python compiler and you can host your Python application on the Python stuff platform. So now very important here. See here, guys. Customer is accessing which URL? First one. But actually the customer should access which URL now? Version 2, second one. So it has the environment URL, no? So it has so this environment and this environment, both are same URLs or different URLs? It will be different URLs. It will be different. So URL for customer URL should change. For customer URL should change. Boom.com should never get changed. You want to access boom.com, that's it. Right? What you need to do is, this Beanstalk is giving a super extraordinary thing which is called swap URLs. What is this? You swap this URL to this URL and this environment URL to this environment URL. So we call it as swap URLs. Swap URL. So guys, once the URL got swapped, whenever he accesses boom.com, the request will come here, and then as you are swapped, and the request will go to here. Within a blink of eye, he'll get the Python. And good thing is here is I will show you the same demo. I'll do the same lab on this part. And this model, we call it as, you might have heard, experienced people might have heard, we call it as blue-green deployment model. What is this model called? So this is completely manual. That meaning we should do. Does Elastic Beanstalk is doing it? No, we should be doing it. Which model is this, Nana? Blue-green deployment model. Can we call it as a customer? I didn't. No, it is not custom piece, customer preset. Custom piece preset is what? If you are selecting your own stuff, your own subnet, your own security group, basically Beanstalk will create its own security group. But if you don't want to Beanstalk to create a new security group, and if you want to use your default security group or your new security groups, it will go for custom preset. Custom meaning your configurations. Everyone understood this blue-green deployment model? Sir, where can we get option in the swap URL? Where meaning in the console. I'll show you in the lab. Okay. No extra cost involved here while creating new EC2 for Python. Extra cost is there or not here? In blue-green deployment model. Yes, obviously we are creating a new environment, correct? So your blue environment is your actual environment. This is called blue environment. Blue environment is nothing but your actual environment. This is blue environment. And this one is green environment, which is your new environment. That's fine. Clear? And Beanstalk is completed. Not now. Sir, can we define? Let's not go to that topic. That concepts we go to we will learn in VPC, Amol. Okay, because there are a lot of things to discuss on top of it. What if the client doesn't pay the extra cost? Okay, there is a question. What if client doesn't pay the extra cost? If client has to, because client will, if you have that worst client that we cannot do anything, right? But generally it is not. See guys, if he doesn't want to pay extra cost, I'm just thinking what else you can do. Simply tell that you have a downtime. Simply tell Babu 1 day downtime. 1 day downtime, and then work on your existing environment. Simple. But in your real time, it will not be like this, because you need to give the service to customer, right? So customer is conscious on your cost related thing, but it's not abnormal cost. No, it is normal only. So it is not that much cost. Yes, you can. When we shouldn't use Beanstalk. Beanstalk has less, what do you call, customization, Subhanshu. Okay. So everything Beanstalk will be doing here, right? So you don't have big customizations. So if you need to have big customization on the infrastructure level and configuration level, so Beanstalk will not give that much impact. Subhanshu, this for you. Can we delete actual environment after creating? Yes, you can, Bhumika. You can. Or you can just go and stop it. App size matters? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. So guys, take the screenshots. And what we're going to do tomorrow is we'll do the lab on this beanstalk. Rolling with additional batches. Additional batches meaning what does it? It will create a new EC2 instances first. It will deploy it there. If it works, then it will do batch by batch. So maybe 3 EC2 instances in one time, another 3 in another time, another 3 in another time. Utkarsh. Sir, when we will be use Beanstack, I told you this, guys. When we will be using the Beanstack, when if you want to deploy the application, there are only two ways. Two, if you want to deploy your application, there are only two services. What are those? EC2 and then Beanstack. So EC2 is completely manual. You need to go and create everything, deploy everything. But whereas Beanstack is automated. So you just give the application to the Beanstack and Beanstack will do everything behalf of you and give the URL. We will using the will what is it? Will using the deployment models, the environment change? I didn't understand the question. Will using the deployment models, the environment change? No, it will not change. You will be doing on the existing same environment itself. The deployment policies will be implemented on the existing environment. How many environments we can keep in application while creating Beanstack? Multiple. Subhanshu. There is a question, guys. Will there be any failures while deployment? Obviously. It's very common that the deployments will fail because of some wrong stuff that your application has or due to some wrong configurations and all. But just in case of the failure, again, rollback will happen automatically. Okay? You can roll back it. Or what you can do, you can have an, what you call, you can load the, load the working configuration. You can save the working configuration and keep it aside. If something goes wrong with your actual one, you can load the saved working configuration. I have already 4 eyes, Mega, and you are putting this bold. I cannot even see probably. If you are using customization in Beanstack, it is equal to deploy the application by using EC2 service. That is manual. Yes, in EC2 service, you are manually deploying it. Whereas in Beanstack, it is automated. So with rolling policy, do we have data integrity issues? No, it will not be having data integrity issues. No, Nandkishore. What percentage of people use Beanstack in companies? Guys, there is a question. What percentage of people use Beanstack in companies? It's completely depend upon the requirement. So I cannot comment and no one can comment that. Because if I have a customer where he says that I don't mind about nothing much, so just give me the just give me the application, deploy the application and give me the URL. That's it. You manage it. So why you want to go to EC2 and deploy everything manually? Go to Beanstack and use it. No. And if you're based on the requirement, based on your customer's requirement. Yes, you can. We are Akhil. We are also using it. As I told you, in my ship, I work for the shipping company, right? So there also we are using Beanstack. Beanstack is good. Guys, if it is not good, why AWS will keep the service? First thing, huh? If you want to automate your stuff, you don't have time, you don't have people, you don't have technical people, right? Then in that case, have one person. If the company doesn't want to pay more salaries for multiple people, so they'll just go with one or two people, and then that guy will go with the Beanstack. Sir, I got a free. Ignore that. Satish, ignore that. That's completely fine. Most startup company will use the Beanstack as a no need to hire a person. Can be Nandkishore. Sir, but how do monitor performance of Beanstalk with CloudWatch metric? Obviously, yes. Right, Amol. What you said is right. Guys, how you have the Beanstalk environment, EC2 instances and all. So who will monitor all these things? Which service? CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is not only for EC2. CloudWatch is for all services, I said. Monitoring any service. CloudWatch. There is another question. Rather than Beanstalk, can we use another service to handle big project? Except EC2. You are telling both. Akhil don't want to use Beanstalk and he don't want to use EC2. What are the other services that you can go for it? Huh? Okay, light sail. Very good answer. So, guys, there are two things here. Okay. You have light sail, you have EC2, you have Beanstalk, and you have for static website, go for S3. These are server-based applications. What is it called? Server-based. So there is also another concept, serverless. What is that? So if you are going for serverless and Dockerization, Docker containerizations and all, so you can go with Lambdas, you can go with there is another service called API Gateway, and in the backend you go for ECS. I told you, right? ECS, EKS, that is also another big. Okay, so these are all the different ways that you can deploy. Sir, in Beanstalk for new version, we're using deployment option, but in EC2, how will deploy new version? Manually. Bhumika. So, guys, if you're interested in deployments, then DevOps. That's what I said. That's what I said in firstly. Learn on the AWS part. And to manage and deploy your applications to manage, then you need to use DevOps concept. So that is where we have CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. What is CD? Not that CD. CD meaning continuous deployment. How you are continuously deploying your application without any effect to the customer. That is CD. And you have continuous delivery also. CI, CD. Continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery to customer. So how do you do this? Using DevOps. Okay, let's not integrate DevOps here. Okay, we are learning AWS. Okay, that's why I said once you learn AWS, then the next good option is DevOps so that you can maintain your applications. Okay, I hope that is clear. Correct. And guys, and another one. In many places I saw this. AWS with DevOps. If you go for many banners also, AWS with DevOps, AWS with DevOps. You know, there is a big twist inside it. Should I tell you that? Don't fall in that kind of trap. So, AWS DevOps, the combination is good. But what they do is, they don't focus on AWS. They will focus on DevOps. AWS with DevOps, they said no. They talk more about DevOps and then only 1 week or 5 days or maximum 10 days, they talk about AWS. AWS is very small there. They don't care on the AWS part. They will be caring on DevOps part. And see, as that is the reason why they want to get the people, no? So students think they will teach AWS also. They will teach DevOps also for 8,000. How come that is possible? Think logically. Not at all possible. If you go like that also, you might learn DevOps, but definitely you will not learn AWS. You might have joined DevOps classes also. Many people join DevOps classes, right? Tell me, on the first day itself, they'll start EC2. And they don't go with all the options that how we did. Directly select, launch. Yes or no? Loud. So that is not the way that you should learn AWS. You will not be learning a lot of AWS there. Okay. So don't first separately learn AWS and separately learn DevOps, and then that DevOps concept you can implement in AWS. That is the right path. Yes. Okay. So thank you, Nandakishore. So people should know that. Okay. So one question on DevOps has its own tech stack like open, correct, outside. Okay, wait for that one class, Amol. You'll get to know. Deployment. There is a question. Correct. Fani Kumar. Fani Kumar said rightly. Curry, you prepare nice curry without salt. That's right. Uh, and then what's the difference between continuous delivery and constant deployment? Again, slowly you're dragging me to DevOps. Huh? You guys are intelligent fellows. Huh? Okay, so what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? Continuous deployment will be happening on the application level, on the servers. Continuous delivery is from the customer point of view. So whatever, let's say for example, you have version 1 application. You have version 1 application. You will be deploying on the servers on version 2, no? You'll be deploying it, no? Automatically deploying it. That is called continuous deployment from version 1 to version 2, version 2 to version 3, version 3 to version 4. Continuously, you are deploying it. And once you deploy it, you will be giving it to the customer, no? That is nothing but continuous delivery. Delivery meaning you are delivering to the customer. The latest version you are delivering to the customer. That is called continuous deployment, continuous delivery. Any other questions? Ask me, how many people died in World War II? Guys, come on. Slowly. Okay. Continuous integration. I cannot tell you continuous integration now. Wait for. Okay, let's do one thing here. So you have so many questions. No. Tomorrow we'll do the beanstalk and day after tomorrow I'll take DevOps class. Okay. Okay, na? Okay, done. But I'm telling you again and again, when I give you one day DevOps class, which I should not supposed to give that. Okay. But don't ask me more questions on that, because it will lead to 2 to 3 days again. So parallelly, I need to start DevOps classes later. Okay. Ah. Okay, good. Can you give the final CC for today, please? Yes. DevOps. Okay. Ram sir, DevOps best. Okay, sir. Yes. Guys, I don't vote for anyone. See, as I said, attend the demo classes. And if you feel like it's good, attend it. Right? But I know, right? So just go ahead and then join the demo classes. If it is good for you, just join. Okay. Because as a trainer, I have never joined any other classes till now. Right? No, it's good. My God. Okay, so that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the Beanstalk practicals. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye. Your teaching is fabulous. Thank you, Amol. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.